Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I am here on the show, and what a way to kick off the 2026 NFL playoffs. Here in the Wildcard round, the NFC games here tonight. Man, the Panthers coming in 8-9, trying to pull off a huge upset, but their defense they couldn't get a stop there in the fourth quarter. The Rams end up getting a game-winning touchdown, and Panthers off the line just all of a sudden becomes useless, and then Jimmy Horn drops the pass, game's over. But the Panthers gave it all they had, man. Rams made so many mistakes in this game. Like, Stafford had an interception, Puka had a drop, and just Stafford wasn't really playing well. Like, there were penalties hurting them. Stafford didn't play well. The Rams finding a way to win while making all these mistakes tonight in all three phases is impressive. I have to imagine they'll play much cleaner next week because the defense wasn't spectacular, but they were, in the end, that last possession, just getting a lot of pressure on Bryce Young. But the Panthers, man, I thought the offense gave it all they had. Kind of struggled early, I thought. Fourth down early in the game, 4th and 1 in your own side of the field. Don't like going for it there. You leave Puka open, so it's 7-0. And I'm like, the Rams are going to run away with this game. But no, the Panthers made the game at halftime. It was 17-14. Bryce Young had a key touchdown run to make it a 3-point game at halftime. And then it was just they traded field goals in the third quarter. But then it was just back and forth with touchdowns there in the fourth quarter. But that last possession by the Panthers, I'll always tell you guys this. I don't love those defensive play calls from the Panthers on that last drive. They were way too soft. It's like prevent defense. It literally never works. It prevents you from winning. The Rams needed a touchdown there. You gotta heat up Stafford and challenge the Rams pass catchers as much as possible. They did neither of that. I'm sure it won't be talked about as much maybe for some other people, but that's just kind of what I thought there at the end of this ball game. It was just too soft a coverage, man. Like, I don't know if he'll be talked about amongst Panthers fans, but that's just for me watching in this game. Plus, the whole reason you came back in this game is because they started pressuring. To stop doing it at the most crucial time is ridiculous. Oh, they were probably worried about getting torched. The defense coordinator was. The players weren't. That's just me, man. What the fuck is his name? What's the defense coordinator's name? Evero, where the hell his name is. He does that all the time in big situations, and he does it. Like, you can't do that against Matthew Stafford. Come on. You can't do that against Matt Stafford. All quarterbacks. They're like, oh, let's play soft defense against Matt Stafford. No, he's gonna tear it apart. And of course they did. But the Panthers showed up tonight, regardless of the outcome. You're proud of this team with how you didn't expect them to even make the playoffs probably. And won their division, gave the Rams a hell of a fight. Team looked like the best team in football most of this season. Really sputtered out of control down the stretch. Even with the mistakes today, they were able to get it done. And just a valiant effort, multiple mistakes by Carolina, and yet you still got a good finish. That's more than most of you expected. Fun first game of these playoffs, man. Really enjoyed it. And Bryce Young had a hell of a year. It was up and down, but I still thought he played a good year for the most part. But Matthew Stafford just picked the Panthers' defense apart that last drive, but it's because the Panthers just played soft coverage the whole time, and it was the most obvious touchdown drive. I didn't think it would be a contested catch to Kobe Parkinson for the win, basically, but why? It's just, why the fuck did they go into prevent defense when they were shutting Stafford and those weapons down? It's like they were trying to lose. Anybody probably could fix that defensive part. They stopped playing defense. The worst defensive drive you ever see this year. Evero just called an awful defense. Defense absolutely sold that last drive. But still, that was a phenomenal football game. Back and forth in that fourth quarter. What more could you ask for from some NFL football, man? Way it started off, they fell fourth down. they get the touchdown to Poke, I'm like, it's going to be a blowout. But thankfully, they made this a hell of a game, man. Panthers fans should be excited for the future. Gave the Rams just about everything they can handle. Bryce Young, I think he's can be a good franchise quarterback. His first playoff game, he looked pretty good, I thought. Besides that interception early in the game, which I kind of thought was on Jalen Coker, I thought he played pretty. Jalen Coker also had a really good game. After that, they both locked in. I think the Rams should be excited about their future. And Bryce Young, man, he was benched last season after 2 games, and he just almost led the Panthers to a playoff win over the Rams, who many have as the favorites in the NFC. That's something to be said about that for a team no one had thought could make the playoffs, and a QB who rose to the moment in this game. Intrigued to see what they look like in the offseason. Happy for Bryce Young. Hope we can build off this. Earned a lot of respect. I thought Bryce, he got pressured a lot in this game, but he still did really everything he could do. Everything possible he could do. So I was really impressed with Bryce Young, man. I know he only went 21 of 40. But he was clutch in the fourth quarter when they needed him. And he had a rushing touchdown before halftime, which got him back in it. This was just insane. It's such an insane game, man. Football's awesome. Like, Bryce Young was balling. He's been up and down this year, but it's amazing that people were begging the Panthers to find a new QB this season, and here they are. And here they are in a position to beat the Rams as double-digit underdogs. And sadly, they couldn't, but hey, dude. Football's awesome, but Cokeheads rejoice, Jalen Coker. But then Stafford throws to Parkinson for the lead. What a catch. For the go-ahead touchdown. Like, are you kidding me? Colby Parkinson, of all people. But the Panthers, like I said, just too much soft coverage at that drive. But then it was just a contested catch, but you shouldn't even let him get down there. But what even got him the lead, it was 27-24. And Isaiah Simmons, the Panthers signed him a few weeks ago, and he blocked the punt to get him in a good position, and Bryce Young throws a dot to Jalen Coker for the lead. Isaiah Simmons could be the greatest special teamer to ever live if he didn't waste his time playing defense. He should just be a special teamer. But it was, at one point, I think it was, 17-7? I thought the Rams were in control, pretty much in control, really, for most of this first half. But what really let the Panthers get back in it, I thought, was that fourth down. Sean McVay, incredibly stupid decision there. He goes for him fourth down, doesn't get it. You could go up 20-7. Instead, the Panthers go right down the field. You make it 17-14. Like, I know that maybe the analytics say go for it, but you make it 20-7 there. Instead, the Panthers go down and get a touchdown, gives me more confidence. And the Panthers defense just played really good after in the second and really that third quarter. They started pressuring Stafford in this game. And Mike Jackson made some good plays in secondary, but I know J.C. Horn went out, one of their linebackers, but man, it's just too soft a defense to play. Just in my opinion. Like, I'm not saying I'm an expert coordinator or anything. It's just, I don't know, man. It's a playoff. It's the playoffs. I don't think the defense was scared of getting cut down the field. I think it was the defensive coordinator, Ejiro Evero, was scared. And their left tackle went down in this game. Okonkwo, he was an apparent significant knee injury, I think. Yeah, let's go over this game, man. Such a fun game. And that's definitely gonna be an off-season concern, though, with the Panthers. It's their left tackle. But let's go over the stat sheet. What a fun way to kick off the playoffs. Playoffs. The Rams, they improved to 13-5, I believe. Hold on. Well, ESPN says 12-5. This Google says 13-5. I guess if we're counting playoff record, okay, 13-5. Panthers 8-10. Panthers season is over. The Rams will move on. The Rams scored 34 points. They had 7 in the first quarter, 10 in the second quarter, 3 in the third quarter, 14 in the fourth quarter. Carolina's season ends 8-10. They scored 31 points, 0 in the first quarter, 14 in the second quarter, 3 in the third quarter, 14 in the fourth quarter. Matthew Stafford, 24-42, 304, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. He didn't play well for the majority of this game, but I believe he had both of his touchdowns there in the fourth quarter. Kyron Williams, 13 runs, 57 yards. Corum, 11 runs, 45 yards. Nakua had 3 runs, 14 yards, and a touchdown. He also had 10 catches, 111 yards, and a touchdown. Devontae Adams, 5 catches, 72 yards. Tyler Higbee, 2 catches, 34 yards. Parkinson, 2 catches, 34 yards, and a touchdown. Williams, 2 catches, 18 yards, and a touchdown. Corum, 2 catches, 13 yards. And Konata Mumpfield, 1 catch, 11 yards. Defensively, they had 2 sacks, 3 TFLs. Kobe Durant with an interception. Harrison Mevis, 2 for 2 on field goals for the Panthers. Bryce Young was 21 of 40, 264. 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Chuba Hubbard, 13 runs, 46 yards, 2 touchdowns. Bryce Young, 3 runs, 24 yards, and a touchdown. Rico Dowdle, 5 runs, 9 yards. He didn't do much in this game. But Bryce Young, man, 2 total touchdowns in his playoff debut. Jalen Coker, 9 catches, 134 yards, and a touchdown. He's really emerged as a receiver, too, for this football team. He thought it'd be Xavier Legette, but no. Coker, 9 for 134 and a touchdown. Tatori McMillan, 5 catches, 81 yards. Tommy Trimble, 3 catches, 22 yards. Chuba Hubbard, 2 catches, 13 yards. Xavier Legette, 1 catch for 8 yards, and Dowdle, 1 for 6. And Trevor Etienne had a fumble. Defensively, they had 1 sack, 2 TFLs. Mike Jackson had an interception. Ryan Fitzgerald was 1 for 1 on field goals. So let's move on to the team statistics here, ladies and gentlemen. For the Rams, they had 21 first downs. 3 of 13 on third down, 1 for 2 on fourth down, 72 total plays, 411 yards, 5 yards of play, 6 yards per pass, 116 rushing yards on 29 attempts, 4 yards of rush. They had 9 penalties for 83 yards. They had 1 turnover for the interception, 31 missed time possession. For the Panthers, they had 21 first downs, 5 of 12 on third down, 0 for 3 on fourth down, 64 total yards, 64 total plays, 333 total yards, 5 yards of play, 6 of pass, 83 rushing yards on 22 attempts, 3.8 a carry, 4 penalties for 35 yards, 2 turnovers with 1 fumble, 1 reception, 20 minutes time possession. The Rams were 4 for 5 in the red zone. The Panthers were 4 for 4. But yeah, man, what a way to start these NFL playoffs. This was such a fun game. Back and forth in the clutch. Matthew Stafford and Bryce Young dueling it out. But the Rams get it done. They will be moving on to the divisional round of the playoffs. And yeah, the record's 13-5, 8-10 for these teams. So the Rams move on. The Panthers are done. But yeah, leave a like, subscribe for more. Peace.